Enjoying this scene.
Get on with it!
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Sports Church. It's going to be a short show tonight again because yet I am still dealing with a great deal of back pain, but we still got a lot to unpack, and we're going to do it in as short as possible time as we can, so I can get back to my heating pad and my muscle relaxers and prepare myself for the onslaught of the work week. We're going to talk some baseball. We're definitely going to talk some MMA. Got a little bit going on in racing as well. Might get to some fantasy football. Might get to some NFL. I don't know. We don't have pterodactyl, so we got no hockey, college football, although, it may come up if we have time. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on Pops. We call him Pops because he's my Pops. He's been in the auto racing business for almost 50 years. So, expert. We'll go with expert on the subject. And as me being interested in auto racing and Poop purely being interested in it for gambling purposes, we have an auto racing segment, and I love it. We're going to bring him on without further ado. Arias, welcome.
Hey, there we are. Good evening, everybody. It's been an eventful weekend, but it was more eventful 3 days earlier because on Wednesday, two teams said, NASCAR, you're violating antitrust laws. We're suing your ass.
Oh, I can't wait to get into that later. That's going to be fun.
So that's what's going on in NASCAR, although they did have a race at Talladega where they eliminated all but 13 cars in one wreck. So we'll see.
All
How
right.
that goes out.
We'll get into that for sure. Next up, he's the brother of Bishop Pook Dog. I've known this dude quite a long years. He stood up at my wedding. I stood up at his wedding. And we served together at the all-inclusive resort known as 42 Area Las Pulgas, guest of the most holistic company in Marine Corps history, Ammo Company, part of the 1st Supply Battalion, 1st Force Support Group, and the illustrious and honorable 1st Marine Corps Division. He is our gambling and MMA expert and contributor. And, yeah, I just want to give him a little something before I bring him on. What's up, Pook Dog?
Oh, let us proclaim the mysteries of close decisions, bad decisions, and bully beatdowns. Oh.
Wow.
What's up, Minnie?
What's up, dude? How you doing, brother?
It is the Bishop Brother Pook Dog, and I'm from the First Sports Church. Nothing but the truth will be proclaimed in these halls of worship.
I didn't do fucking shit.
So we had an interesting.
Yeah.
We had a very interesting night in combat sports yesterday.
Go for it, brother.
We're gonna bust right into the Pook segment.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you want, I got to get some things ready. So, if you guys want to,
Pook is loose. The Pook is loose. All right, well, let's do this then. Let's Minnie, before you go run off and do all your things, can you pull up a slide that I just sent you? The one that I just sent you.
That's what I'm
That's
doing.
what you're
right
working
now.
on right now? Well, the slide he's
so.
trying to pull up is going to be the Jose Aldo Mario Batista. Just a quick pick to let you know who we're talking about there at home. And last night, Jose Aldo, as all you may know or should know, was reigning UFC champion for a very long time. And it looked like after his last win, he might be making another run at the title here.
Describe to me this first slide, brother. What's the first slide?
It just has a picture of it's the very last one I sent you is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Okay. What's it look like?
It's got two fellas on there.
Okay, I got it.
Have their shirts off. I'm just
all right.
There. Boom. These guys. This is who I'm talking about last night. These fellas fought last night. Aldo being the older, balder man who was the former UFC great, UFC champion. He's making what you might call a bit of a comeback. And last night it kind of got derailed by a bad split decision, I think.
Oh wow.
Or close decision. I wouldn't call it bad. The
that?
crowd called it bad. These guys are bantamweight.
Okay.
Yeah. So, although being a former champion, like I said, the fans were booing this decision, and it was a very close fight. The fellow that took the most damage in this fight was Batista. He had a bad looking eye. It was freaking ugly, man. And that might have had something to do with the crowd booing. I'd have to go back round by round, and begrudgingly, I'd probably end up giving the fight as well to Batista. But at any rate, a very controversial decision. As a matter of fact, I was sitting next to my lady. I don't even know if she was awake. I was watching the fight like maybe 4 a.m. today, 5:30 maybe. And I turned to her and I said, "I hate to be one of the judges in this fight. You ain't gonna get this one right."
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know if you could call it a draw even, because if you're using their scoring criteria, using round by round, maybe you got to give it to Batista, because Batista was maybe the more active fighter. He was maybe the one that set the pace of the fight. But Aldo was just freaking – when he got the range, he was tagging him.
Yeah.
And he was tagging him good. Very good fight, actually. Very good fight. Kind of, not that I'm not all about justice and fair play and things of that nature, but if they did give this fight, what's that, Pops?
I said, since when are you after Fairness and justice for all.
I am, man. I am. I really am. You know, I'm trying to be a good man and not expose Minnie for being a closet Yankees fan. It's gonna be very hard because she's got Yankee news, right? So it's gonna be very tough. So, you know, I know how he gets just elated when he starts talking about the Yankees. You can see his eyes light up as a matter.
Lighten up, Francis.
So anyway, getting on with what I was saying about fair play and justice and everything, if it would have went the other way, the split decision would have went the other way, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. And I think it makes for a better story because at this stage in Aldo's career, he doesn't need to be taking any L's because he's running out of time. He's 38 years old.
Yeah.
And the young guy, he could probably take an L better. He's going to be around. He's going to be around. He's definitely going to be around. So anyway, bringing up what I felt was a horrible decision, the next slide that I sent you being the girls' fight. And again, we just got a picture of the girls, so you know who I'm talking about. When I'm talking about Juliana Pena and I'm talking about Raquel Pennington.
Yeah.
So, Minnie, if you could pull up the slide of the ladies. There it is. Oh, shit. I speak of the devil right on cue. All right, so these lovely ladies squared off last night, and I thought Raquel Pennington did enough to win.
Huh.
I mean, you got the second and you got the third round where Juliana Pena just completely dominated her, especially that third round was ugly. There's a lot of ground and pound work, a lot of holding her down, making her nervous, going for chokeholds, things of that nature, just – Raquel Pennington on the defense, right? But the first, the fourth, and the fifth round, you almost have to give to Raquel Pennington. And Raquel Pennington goes into this fight, the champ. So it's like a close fight should always go to the champ anyway. So I don't know what these refs, not refs, I don't know what these judges were looking at. I had a problem with this decision.
Pennington's the one on the left, right?
Let me see this so I don't get this wrong. Yeah, we got Pennington as the one with the red shirt on. So I don't know how. Yeah, okay, right on. Right on. Yeah, absolutely.
And she lost the battle or no?
Yeah, but I feel like she won that fight, and I'm going to say that she won round 1, 3. I'm sorry, 1, 4, and 5. You know, the other girl, you know, dominated the other 2 rounds, but I don't think you could give her a 10-8 in either one. She dominated the second and third round. A lot of ground and pound work.
Yeah.
You know, it was easy. These rounds were really easy to score. I mean,
well, you know how I judge fight show, right?
How's that?
Pena is obviously prettier. Therefore, she deserves to win.
My God. My God, Pops. You misogynist. All right. Okay. Before Pops gets us canceled, let's move on to the next fight. We got the main event of the evening. You got Pereira versus Khalil Roundtree. Yes, those are the two fellas. And those are what the two fellas looked before the fight.
Yeah.
And I sent you another slide of Roundtree after the fight. But before you pop that up, I just want to say Roundtree was game. He knocked down Poatan in the second round. Roundtree fought a hell of a fight. As a matter of fact, in the third round, if you looked at the live betting odds, it had almost an even contest. And Poatan went in to this fight a 4-1 favorite, almost a 5-1 favorite, like 450, like 4.5 to 1. So that being said, pull up this picture of what he looked like after round 4, after the TKO. At the very end of round 4, the TKO came, and yeah, look at that face, man.
Yeah.
Let me read you a tweet about this fight from my one-way bromance with Dallas Braden. I was watching games, and I always check his Twitter. and a couple other baseball guys, but he's big into UFC, right? Like he knows some guys. He knows Nick Diaz, like knows him because he's from Stockton. You know,
Oh shit!
he's a Stockton boy.
Oh, get back.
That was the dismantling of a man. The soul was the only thing keeping Roundtree on his feet until Poten threw the daggers into the midsection. What an incredible fight to watch. So, yeah,
It was hard to watch the very end of that fight, though.
yeah,
Because Roundtree wasn't giving up easy, and it was like, man, it was like a lion versus a gazelle at the end. It really was. Yeah, one of the headlines I saw in MMA news was runaway freight train.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, man, if you like gore and you like watching a man get dismantled, then this is your kind of fight.
Wow. Was this 3-round fight or 5?
5-round fight, Pops.
Wow.
The TKO happened in the end of the 4th round. Like I said, in the end of the 3rd round, Roundtree was close to a live because they let you bet live now. That's a new thing, and it's actually incredible because growing up, man, once the game started, that was it. Bets were off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But so live betting was allowing you to bet Poatan in the 3rd round as almost even money, almost a coin flip. Almost.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No, wow. That's how competitive this fight was in the first 3 rounds. I have Roundtree winning the first 2 rounds.
Holy cow.
He also scored a knockdown.
Huh.
This went sideways for him in the 4th round. The damage he took to his face impeded his sight, and he was just gassed, man.
Yeah.
So it was bad, and like you said, he didn't want to go out. He didn't want to go out. So it was kind of hard to watch, you know. So, I mean, I'm a fan of humanity, you know. I'm not a sadist. Isn't it
a line from The Devil's Advocate? I'm a fan of humanity. I'm a fan of humanity. I can't do Pacino, but
I don't remember.
That's a line. That's a line. Al Pacino playing the devil says that to Keanu Reeves.
I have no idea. Humanity. Look, I have no idea where I pulled that from, where I ripped that. I have no. It just came into my head at the time. I don't remember where it's from. I'm sure I got it from somewhere else. But yeah, absolutely, it was a rough ride. Probably the last minute and a half. Minute and a half was just like I wanted him to end it. He looked like a cat playing with a mouse, man.
Yeah,
he really did. It was. Because I was like, even Rogan said, just put him out, head kick him. But I don't know, man. That might even give him more damage. He ended this with body blows, man, which was what Daniel Cormier called for. Because I was listening to the announcers at this point because I was on the edge of my seat, hoping that Khalil Roundtree would just go down so we could end this massacre. Anyway, that pretty much wraps up my segment for today. We can move on to something else.
Well, what's coming up, man? You know that question's coming.
Yeah, well, I knew we were doing a little bit of a streamlined show and whatnot, so I didn't really have anything prepared for that. But I can pull that up pretty quick, man. That's an easy one. Well, we got a fight night coming up soon. We got Anthony Hernandez versus Michael Pereira. Just Rob Font's going to be on this fight night. Not too many names. Not too many household names. It's just going to be a fight night. That's coming up, I believe, in 2 weeks.
Any word on our possibly never fighting again in the future, but he's also a favorite of John's?
Yeah, I don't know. That guy's just getting coked up and drunk all the time, I believe. I mean, allegedly. Yeah, so the next big fight we got, really looking at this, because we got some fight nights in between, but the next big thing is going to happen November 16th. We're going to have John Jones versus Miocic. So I don't know really what to make of this fight. A lot of the fans now are saying that neither one of these guys, Jones or Miocic, is nearly as relevant as the current champion. And I don't know. I'm not nearly as excited for this fight as I was 3 years ago, but we'll see, man. We'll see how these guys look when they get in the ring. We'll know.
Mhm.
We'll know how much ring rust. We'll know how much ring rust they got. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That we'll see what caliber of fight. But the problem is with this is that John Jones might retire after this damn fight. So it's kind of like man,
Why is that a problem if he retires?
because I don't believe that settles things, man.
Oh, all right.
I don't believe that settles things.
Because the current champion is
Yeah, because the current champion is so dominant right now, man.
Damn it. Okay, sorry. I was looking something up. What else you got? Hold on. When did that happen?
I couldn't think of his name for anything. Tom Aspinall, the current heavyweight champ. Couldn't think of his. If I had a gun to my head, I couldn't think of his name. He's an Englishman, and he's so dominant right now, and everyone thinks so highly of him. I'm not sure if John Jones fighting Stipe settles things, especially if John Jones retires. You know what I mean? Yeah. And here, Dana White, has pretty much been killing John Jones in the press whenever he's had a chance in the past with his failed drug tests and his freaking hit and run accidents and his domestic violence nonsense, right? But all of a sudden lately, Dana's kind of changed his tune a bit and has been, go, 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 go. Greatest of all time, greatest of all time. That's all we hear out of this guy. Or greatest current freaking fighter. And you're like, it's the greatest current active fighter. It's like, this dude, how's this guy current or active? It's going to be 4 years almost, man. It's like,
really 4 years since they had last fight?
3, I believe, but more than 3.
How the hell did that happen?
3 months. It's just been setbacks and injuries and things of that nature.
Oh, all right.
I think originally there was a problem writing a contract, but they got that hammered out. But then after that, Jones was injured. I mean, if they could have made this happen right after the Gain fight, I believe. I don't think Jones was injured in that fight. He made quick work of Gain. I believe he was injured in training.
Oh.
So they could have made this fight happen a long time ago, and it was way more relevant 3 years ago, as a matter of fact, because there wasn't Tom Aspinall. I mean, there was Tom Aspinall. He was active. He was fighting. But, now he's the champ who's defended his title, and it's a little different, So there's a lot of fighters. There's a lot of fans that really – but, I mean, this deal was made a long time ago. I mean, they got to have the fight. The only thing I'm scared of is John Jones leaving before, he fights Tom Aspinall, because that even might be what Uncle Dana wants, because he wouldn't want to tarnish John Jones's legacy with the Aspinall victory.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he bills John Jones as being undefeated, and he pretty much is. I mean, the Dominic Reyes fight was a bad decision, I believe, but the judges gave it to Jones. And then the Dairy Queen the DQ he got was for a 12-6 elbow. And he was dominating that fight. 12-6 elbows are now legal. So, I mean, you could make the argument that, yeah, John Jones is undefeated. But that being said, I really like to see him fight Aspinall. I talk like this, and Stipe might freaking beat John Jones, and he might go on to beat Aspinall. I think Stipe is getting a little long in the tooth, but I don't think you can. I don't think you can short Stipe. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you can. You gotta give the devil his due, man. We'll see what happens. All these guys are not getting younger. John Jones, Stipe Miocic, Tom Aspinall's a young rooster. So, I mean, it'll be interesting how it unpacks, and hopefully John Jones doesn't retire right after the Stipe fight. And that's assuming that John Jones wins. Maybe Stipe wins, but that's pretty much all I got for you, man.
All right, man.
I want a little extra. And I didn't have any notes prepared. I couldn't think of damn Tom Aspinall's name, but I made it through that, and I'm ready to talk some auto racing or baseball or NFL football, because I actually have opinions on NFL football. So,
well, go ahead, Pops. I know you said you didn't have very much, but
yeah,
that's a good thing today.
The most eventful weekend that just concluded at Talladega, the demonstration of car flexibility and whether it can still run after it's been beat to hell and back. I still don't understand that they spent $300,000 on a car and then put it out there on the track, and 28 out of 30 cars end up on a wrecker. Anyway, they got done. They ran the race this weekend, and all series had nothing but crashes, which is, like I said, that with $300,000 times 120 is what? But that's what they
a lot of money.
At Talladega. And why they continue to do this, I have no idea, but they do. The other part of this is that the racing was not the interesting part of this week. The interesting part of this week was that two teams, well-funded teams, which is the big difference, well-funded teams sued NASCAR for antitrust violations, which is a monster lawsuit. It's not like you're going to get them for doing something and trying to collect money from them. Antitrust results in treble damages. So you win $100 million, you just lost $300 million just by losing it. And it's going to be done by a jury trial, not by a judge making a decision. A jury is going to make this decision. So it is ugly. And this is not stuff you want to talk about, the business of racing. You want to talk about racing. But when they talk about the money that is involved in this lawsuit, it gets very tempting to talk about. Denny Hamlin has been very vocal about the way NASCAR negotiates with the teams. And what NASCAR did last week was just outrageous. They went to the teams at 6 o'clock, handed each team a 100-page document and said, you have until 8 o'clock to let me know if you're going to do this or not. And if you don't do it, your franchise, they just disappear. So they just said, you go with us or you lose your money. That's it. That's the end of the game. And 13 teams said, okay, we'll go with you. But two teams, Denny Hamlin, 2311, and Front Row Motorsports, said, no, we don't like this. And that's the bully. The wording they gave it as, the France family and NASCAR are monopolistic bullies. The team said in a lawsuit, a copy of which is obtained by the Associated Press, and bullies will continue to impose their will to hurt others until the targets stand up and refuse to be victims. That moment has now arrived.
Hey.
Now, this has got a very good chance of destroying NASCAR because they're trying to separate out the racetracks from the France family. There is no other sport controlled by a single family. And NASCAR has had this since the beginning. Bill France Sr., Bill France Jr. went down to Brian France, who got kicked out because of his cocaine problems, and got turned over to Jim France, who's 80 some odd years old. And now he's going to be involved in this goofy lawsuit, which is going to take a ton. The problem is that when you sue this way, one of the first things that happens is it goes into discovery. Never has NASCAR released their figures. Never. Now, they've been sued multi times before, but it's never got to discovery. This will get to discovery if, and here's the if, there is an injunction that Denny Hamlin and et al. Are trying to get put in, that everything stays the same as it is right now until the lawsuit is resolved. So in other words, the payoffs are the same, everything's the same. Nothing. They're going to get paid out the same way they do now. And when the lawsuit gets decided, then the change will occur. But right now, everything's going to stay the same. If that makes it through, which will be happening in about another month, when the judge decides whether or not to issue an injunction, if that happens, all hell breaks loose, because then they go into discovery, and you won't believe the number of lawsuits that are not number of motions, I should say, that NASCAR will bring up, so they don't have to disclose their income, because no one. It used to be you could figure out what kind of money was involved when the racetracks used to release their attendance. Well, now NASCAR owns all these tracks, and they will not announce their attendance, nor will how much money they make. And so it's really hard for the teams to figure out what's going on. The upshot is that you're going to be at least a year and probably 2 years and maybe 3 years before we find out what the hell's going on with this mess. And it is ugly. Hopefully they can figure out a way to settle it before that. But neither NASCAR nor Denny Hamlin and company are people that will settle. Denny's has been itching for this fight for a year and a half, ever since he tried to negotiate with NASCAR and couldn't get anywhere. So that's where that is. Now, that is NASCAR and stock cars. IndyCar, they're not racing anymore because it's done with the season. But we got NASCAR or IndyCar news. Michael Andretti, who owns Andretti Motorsports, it merged into Andretti Global when they decided they want to go to an F1 race. Now, F1 is stymieing that effort, but Andretti got a big hip partner who throws a bunch of money in there, and all of a sudden, Michael Andretti says, "I'm stepping away from Andretti Global, from the ownership role. I'm going to go back to the operations part. I'm not going to be messing around with the money part." It seems that at the same time he stepped away from the money part, he formed another team, another business that is designed to get around the rules for investing, where he can form this company and merge in with another company without having to go through all the documentation of all the income and forecasting and all that. And Zach Brown, the McLaren boss, was a partner in that group. Now, Zach Brown just this week resigned without saying any reason for that. So it's like, if you can't have anything going on in the racetrack, let's go back to the boardroom and just have fights there. It's absolutely crazy. Speaking of fights there, Max Verstappen, believe it or not, is still atop the F1 racing world. However, things are different. Lando Norris The McLaren driver is now in second place. Now that you got Ferrari's not there. What the heck? Ferrari's not there.
Right.
Mercedes-Benz is not there. What the heck is going on there? So we've had a pretty good upset in the F1 racing world is what it comes down to. Hardly any action in the month of October, but another 2 weeks and they will be back in action. So we'll see what's going on there. The other thing is the NASCAR playoffs are going on. They got the race at what am I trying to say? Where's NASCAR headed? Where is all the teams located in NASCAR?
Charlotte.
There we go. They got a race at Charlotte. That's what I couldn't remember. Charlotte. Anyway, they got a race at Charlotte on the Roval, and then they cut down to 8 teams. So you got quite a few teams that are trying to make the cut. Denny Hamlin, by the way, is still in the top 4 or 5, so he's going to make it into the cut after this. So the lawsuit so far has not hurt him. There's all kind of people saying this. There's going to be weird stuff happening because NASCAR has a way of making things happen funny. No ifs, ands, or buts. But I think now that you got the lawsuit is filed, there's going to be more people watching them than normal. So we'll see how that goes. That's where we stop. Let's get back to baseball.
Oh, well, where's the Pook?
I don't know. A light is taking its place.
Pook turned into a light?
Mm-hmm.
Looks like an IKEA.
Well,
it's not even on.
Well,
he turned into an off light, which is kind of what's going on.
Not that bright anyway.
Well, that's fair. I mean, that's fair, especially when he's not here.
Hey, did New York lose and they're out of the division, or did they win yesterday?
This is a division series, so it's best of 5.
Oh, best of 5. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. I'm just waiting for the Pook because I need the Pook. Yeah, but we had one game already today. I'll get into that. We had the field. I guess I'll go get going. Eventually, he'll get here. I wish you would have told me he was leaving, fucker. We finally, last week I said most of the field was set. It's because most of it wasn't, but we had a doubleheader on Monday to be played because Rob Manfred couldn't read the damn weather report. I got a picture of Rob somewhere. No, that's not it. That's close, sir. That's close. No, yeah. Actually, how they knew this hurricane was coming for a week, and then they're like, "Oh, you're playing a doubleheader on Monday." Wait, what? That's actually a more appropriate picture for Rob Manfred, but that's what the guy actually looks like with a Grand Canyon sized gap in his front teeth worth $1 million. Can't fix that shit. Get the fuck out of here. But anyways, the field was set, and how it looked here. You had your division series, Detroit and Houston, Kansas City, and the Baltimore Orioles, the New York Mets against the Brewers, which was probably the best series. It was the only contested one. You had Braves and Padres. Padres took that easily. The Braves really just limped into the playoffs. I mean, they had lost so many guys throughout the year. They lost Ronnie Acuna again. They lost Ozzie Albies. Everybody they brought in, one of the guys they traded for broke his hand on the first day. He didn't even get on the field. Broke his hand getting ground ball. I mean, it was just, poor Braves fans. I mean, it was the best offense in baseball last year, like record history offense. And then this year, they just crawled and scraped and begged and just flopped over the finish line in the playoffs. And then they draw the Padres, and the Padres just did dirty to them. Like I said, the trash banging Houston Astros, the resurgent, man, everybody had written them off. I had written them off. The experts had written them off, and just quietly, very, very quietly, and much to the chagrin of everybody who hates him, which is most of baseball, they managed to put together a hell of a record through the second half and just came screaming in, and then just got smoked by the Tigers, who nobody saw getting in there. That was the neat thing about this is the Mets weren't supposed to be competitive. They literally told Max Scherzer at the trade deadline last year, we're not going to be competitive next year. Do you want to leave? He's like, well, fuck yeah. And they bounce and they make the playoffs, and they got some shit. They got some power. They got some power. They got the power, the power of the grimace. The new unofficial mascot of the New York Mets, because they got the purple going, right? All of a sudden, Grimace shows up at the stadium, and the Mets fucking take off and drive themselves right into the fucking playoffs. Grimace fucking power, man. Unbelievable. It was the best series that we had. The whole thing was the Brewers and Mets. Back and forth,
Hey, I
all
think
the games.
back, but we can't see him.
Yeah, he's there. I can see him.
Oh, okay. I thought he was in camouflage. I couldn't see him.
Oh, yeah, he is in camouflage. Yeah. It was really, it was such. The Brewers had gone up in the third deciding game, and I was like, well, I'm going to bed because this shit is over. But it wasn't, and I kind of had a thought that might just happen because Pete Alonso said,
Meet the Mets, meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the Mets are really socking the ball.
hey, you want to see how we really did it? So Pete Alonso up, 2 men on, they're down. And Pete Alonso says to Devin Williams, I got this, bitch.
Third, Nimmo at first. The pitch. Swing and a ball drilled. Right field. Freelick back. At the wall. Out of here. It's out of here. Alonso.
Polar Bear with a game-winning, playoff series winning, walk-off, 3-run home run in his walk-off year, by the way. And he's had a fairly decent year, not a typically amazing Pete Alonso year, but it was pretty good. And he does that in his walk-off year, which means, he's a free agent after this year. Much talk about him coming over to the Cubs, but I don't know if that's necessarily necessary. He's going to want a fuck ton of money. He's also going into, let's see here. Let's look him up real quick. Don't say Pedro Alonso, say Pete Alonso. That's the joke. Everybody calls him Pedro because his last name sounds Latino.
You know
what?
I think I might have made that mistake myself many years.
Yeah. I'm trying to get his age here. Let's see. Team stat head. No. I don't want that. Go away from stat head. Stat head. More bio. There we go. He is 29 and 304 days. So next year, going into next year's winter meetings and free agent signings, he'll be going into his age 30 season. And he's going to want a big deal. I think he's a Boris guy too, so that might be a problem. I mean, if the Cubs were to pick him up, that'd be great. But we already got a pretty good young first baseman, left-hander. I'd rather see something at third base. Maybe a definite upgraded catcher, definitely upgraded pitching. But anyways, we're talking about the playoffs. But everybody loves the polar bear, so I don't see why we can't do that. There she is,
My wife.
saying howdy. Like I said, surprising Royals and Tigers getting in. The Mets played a great game. The one other takeaway that I like to talk about from just the wild card series was the Orioles, man. I mean, the first half of the season, it is the Orioles to lose. I'm pretty sure I picked them to go to the World Series. I also picked the Braves. Oops. But I don't know. I don't know what happened to the Orioles. I mean, that is a stacked young team offensively, as you could probably get. However, their pitching was their ace Corbin Burns, who they traded for from Milwaukee, kind of shit the bed the last third of the season and just wasn't what he was for the first 2/3, and he definitely wasn't in the playoffs. And the Orioles, very, very disappointing. However, if I was an Oriole fans, I wouldn't lose heart. You still got that young core of guys you're not paying a lot of money for yet, so that frees up some money. You got a new ownership group, so you got a lot of free money to go out there and get guys in the pitching market. And there will be some guys coming up. Jordan Montgomery and Blake Snell both took deals with opt-outs, so they're both going to be available. Jordan had a pretty disappointing season, blames his agent. I don't know how it's his fucking fault because they have the same agent, Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery. Blake Snell won the Cy Young last year, came in, struggled, got hurt, came back, and just lights the fuck out. So, anyways. One more thing about that game, that 3-2 victory, or well, the 3-2 series victory by the Mets over the Brewers. Yeah. There is, of course, Dallas Braden, one-way bromance. One of these days, maybe we'll get him on the show in the offseason. That'd be great. I think you guys would just absolutely fall out of your seats laughing because he's amazing. He's one of the guys on Baseball Dead podcast, which you can find that anywhere you podcast. He's also the A's broadcaster. We'll see what that happens now that they're moving from Oakland to Sacramento. But they had a live stream for all the wild card games, and I tuned in and found this gem on Twitter, and it's interesting. His take on what had happened is pretty neat. Let's see if I can get it here and see what you guys think about it. All right. Is it up there? Yeah, it should be up there. Yeah. All right. Turn your volume up if you can. I got mine up as high as I can.
Dude, I think Devin Williams was tipping his pitches. Look.
Did you see that?
Dude, I think Devin Williams was tipping his pitches.
Oh! The Brewers closer's tipping his pitches.
Watch this.
That DB might have something.
Tipping pitches?
Yes.
Go through the process of trying to pick up tipping. Is that something they may have picked up in the regular season watching tape?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're looking for their out pitch and then for the fastball. Mm-hmm. And you're going through certain steps, certain benchmarks that you're looking for, and you're comparing each one of those.
Yeah.
And you have the ability to just run simulations right next to each other, right? And now you can pick up. Yeah. And you're going through that same exact checklist, whether it's glove height, distance away from the body, tilt of the glove. There's so many different things, right? So many different things you look at.
Is that someone's job now?
Oh, for sure.
So, yeah. He called it out. Now, Dallas had a pretty decent career. I'd say, the man he's forever immortalized in baseball history. If you want to see a good story, you go to Baseball It Doesn't Exist. Search Dallas Braden, and you'll hear the story of how this guy went from fucking deep shit in Stockton to pitching in the major leagues to pitching the 19th perfect game in MLB history and running to his grandma to give her a hug. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And he's my favorite guy on the pod. He's just a funny dude. So it's possible that Pete knew what was coming because it sure fucking looked like he did. Looks like he's looking for off speed, away, and that's what he got. And he smacked it in the right field, which shows you how fucking strong Pete is. Man, it was awesome. All right, so to the division series, I gotta get my picture back up here so I know what the hell I'm talking about. All right, so the division series setup is the Mets versus the Phils, the Padres versus the Dodgers, the Yankees versus the Royals, and the Cleveland Indians I mean, Guardians. I mean,
Guardians. Get that right now, for God's sake. We don't want to have anybody.
The Cleveland
boycott.
Bridge, because they're named after a fucking bridge.
You know, here's the thing, Minnie, and I was kind of sad when they changed the name, and I know a lot of natives that actually wear hats like the hat I'm wearing, like these New Era hats and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
They'd wear the Chief of Wahoo, and they'd
Chief
have
Wahoo,
yeah, they have the gold tooth and everything, and they love the guy, man. They love the mascot, but I mean, a lot of younger natives, I know that for sure. They love that mascot, but I was kind of sad to see it go. But
we're always persecuting people,
and
if we're rich, we can persecute anybody we want to, and the courts say no, that's not right.
Yeah, Chris, but did you look at his last like 5 outings before the playoffs? That's what I was talking about, brother. And yeah, Albies was back, but he was gone for how long? And lost Acuna and 2 other guys throughout the year. They lost Spencer Strider, their ace, predicted to win the Cy Young by a lot of people much smarter than me, even though I did think I picked him to win the Cy Young. Maybe. No, I did, because I did it after he got hurt. But I would have if he was still going. So interesting fact about the division series real quick. I heard it through Bob Costas, who's a little crazy as far as his politics, but he's really good at his job. It was kind of funny. If you look at the graphic, there's only one series where the teams have to fly. You've got Detroit and Cleveland, the Mets and Phillies, the Padres and the Dodgers, and the only one who got to fly is Kansas City and the Yanks. So that's kind of different. Mets came into the Banks in Philly, beat up on the Fighting Phils the first game. I mean, it was a beatdown. The Phillies evened it up though. They won their game tonight. I think the Padres and Dodgers are just about to start. Actually, I might catch a few innings of that game before I go to sleep. If I go to sleep, I'm on steroids right now, so good luck. But the Yanks fought Kansas City. That was a very good game. 2 of these games were very good. San Diego and LA, which I'm going to talk about a little bit in depth. Kansas City, New York was a good game right until the later innings, and Casey's bullpen just couldn't keep it locked down. The Yanks won. The Guardians just blew out the Tigers. We'll see what happens on Monday with that. It doesn't look good, though, unless they get oh, God, not Seth Lugo. It's the other guy, and I can't think of his name. Get him back up on the hump against the Guardians because it don't look good if they can't even get their starting pitching in 5. It's not good. Let's see. Thanks, Chris, for this little nug. I appreciate it. The Dodgers announced that Kershaw, even though he's with the team, isn't going to pitch in the postseason. So I don't know if he's hurt or they're just like he's just which that you can't tell me that guy can't come in and give you 1 inning to shut down baseball. Come on, absolutely, he still can. So that makes me think he's hurt, but he's still with the team. So I don't know what's going on there with that. I have no idea. Let's see. Talking about the Padres game, I watched most of that when the stream service that Pook enlightened me to would let me fucking watch it. I did catch I caught all the important parts, but it was kind of weird. They kicked me out, and then I'd fight and bruise my finger trying to get back in, and then I get back in, and something cool would happen. I'm like, all right, well, fair enough. But Padres go up early. And then this fucking dude, I think he might become a household name. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him before, but I think he's pretty good. You know, he just did baseball history this year. But yeah, he did this to tie it up. Now watch this pitch too. This is Dylan Cease traded over to the Padres from the Chicago White Sox. I bet he's so glad about that. But he only made, I think, 3 2/3 maybe in that game, and that's their ace. That's their ace.
Are you putting something on the screen because it's not up there?
I'm talking.
Okay.
About it. Damn it! I'm setting it up. It's a 5-second clip. But Cease came over, had a great year. Comes in, he's the ace. He's supposed to slam it down, but he's got to face Shohei, Mookie, and Freeman, and that's kind of a murderer's row. So Cease throws a fastball, 97 at the top of the zone. I mean, practically above the zone, and Shohei's like, bitch.
Here's a 2-1. There's a drive. It's a bullet. Was there any doubt? Shohei Ohtani
just blasts it. 97 at the top of the zone. Just bye-bye. Throws his bat down. I'm like, oh God, this guy's a maniac. He's gonna be the first MVP as a DH. As a DH. Chris said Tiger starters are gonna be Cleveland starter Boyd, Royals, Reagan. Okay. Oh, okay. Tiger starter Skubal, Cleveland starter Boyd, Royals, Reagans, Yankees, Rondon. The Royals could beat Rondon. Good luck, Cleveland, to beating Skubal because he might win the Cy Young. Probably should win the Cy Young. Shohei making it happen. And back to the Yankees and Royals. That was a very good game. I enjoyed the hell out of that. Back and forth the entire game. Judge didn't have a very good game, though, man. To highlight his woes, his postseason woes, his first 23 postseason games, his OPS was almost 1,000, 0.992. So OPS, on-base percentage plus slugging, right? It's a stat used to judge how effective of a hitter you are with power, with runners and scoring position, how often you get on base and help create runs. It was a 992 his first 23 postseason games. His next 22, he's had a 144 batting average with a 36% strikeout rate. Oops. That's not good. That's not good at all. But I don't know. I'm rooting for Kansas City, guys. I'm rooting for the Padres. Just because I don't want to see LA. If LA does, at least I get to keep seeing Shohei. Definitely rooting for the Mets. You can't get away. You can't get away from this guy. You can't get away from can't get away from him. He's just awesome. He's just awesome. Long as guys, we don't have to worry about Angel calling the games because he's not there anymore. So I'm interested to see. Chris put that up. I wish I could. I don't know what time the game is tomorrow, but I would love to see it because the Guardians did beat the brakes off the Tigers, and with Skubal coming in, that might be something that might be worth the watch. I don't know what the time is, but looking ahead, just to look at to give you an idea, just to go to Fangraphs, you can look up the winning percentage or likely percentage of the teams in it right now. The Guardians are 31.5% favorite to win the LCS. Let's see here. Who else is the Yankees? 47.3%. That's kind of weird. Who else is in there? Let's see. NL East, the Phillies. That's real tight. Phillies and Mets, 21% to 20.5%. And the NL West, the Padres, the Dodgers. Here you go. To win the LCS, they're 41.1%. The Padres 17.3%. So I'm rooting for the wrong team possibly there, but that's all right. Next week, of course, we'll talk about all the division series. Get ready for the championship series in both leagues, AL and NL. Probably dive into awards. Especially, I'm going to go over the ones I picked at the start of the season, which is always fun, but it never, ever works out. It makes you look stupid as fuck. And this year, true to form, it made me look pretty fucking stupid. I don't know if I got a single projection right. I don't think I got a single one right. I don't even want to look, man. It's that bad. But yeah, that about wraps it up, man. It's just some good baseball. Padres and Dodgers are probably just starting right now. So I'm gonna go check that out while I try and take enough sleeping pills to knock out a elephant and hopefully get some sleep before tomorrow. And my final thoughts are: hey, remember, never take a permanent solution to a temporary problem. You gotta reach out. It's not easy, but I do it from time to time. I called a brother last week that I haven't talked to in probably. I talked to him maybe about 6-8 months ago, right after he got out of a program for veterans with PTSD and substance problems. And he's as bright as the sun now, man. That motherfucker never stops smiling. It's annoying as shit, but I love him, so I called him up, and he was there for me, no problem. So the people are out there, you know them, you serve with them. Go out to all you got to do is go to Facebook, go to the website, Reverend Warriors. They do marches everywhere, and I'm telling you what, that's you can make one. Get some silkies. Don't matter what you look like. Nobody cares. Just slap those silkies on. Slap your ruck on, or your Alice pack, depending on how old you are, and go marching, man, and meet people. And I'm telling you, I was at the VA the other day because of my back, and despite sitting in there and being in pain, and and waiting for that shot to kick in and whatnot, waiting for my meds. I'm at the VA hospital. I'm surrounded by veterans. All I did was bullshit the whole time, and I had a fucking blast. Besides being in pain, it was great. I mean, I was listening to I was listening to radio versions of Gunsmoke with this old Korean vet named Ed who was in the Marine Corps and fought in Korea. And I'm like, what are you listening to? And he goes, old radio program. You probably don't know enough about this. I'm like, you're wrong, sir. You're wrong. And it was just fun. And I was talking to some other guys and a couple of Air Force guys, and the guy who checked me in was a Marine, and we talked for a minute. And man, I felt like $1 million walking out of there till the pain kicked back in. But just being around other veterans it changes your product. Now you got more context to call when things are bad. And if you're doing good, then go to those hikes too and meet people and be that person that can take that phone call at 2:00 in the morning when they're speaking cursive and crying and just having the worst fucking night of their lives. You can be that bright of light in darkness for them. So that's all I got. Pook, what you got?
Well, real quick before my final thoughts, I looked this up because Chris Benoit made a correction.
Yeah,
Chris Benoit made a correction, and we at the First Sports Church, Nothing But the Truth, would like to maintain that reputation. So anyway, Dominic Reyes' fight happened in February 8th, 2020. Now, he had a 3-year layoff where he put on the weight and got in shape at heavyweight, right? Okay, so 3 years went by. He fought Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane fight wasn't much of a fight. John Jones took him down, got a guillotine submission on him.
What's up, Carl?
Early in that first round. So a lot's happened in those 4 years, and a lot's happened in the year and a half since he fought Cyril Gane to make this fight way less relevant than it once was when they first started rumoring the fight in 2020. Now, all that being said, I have my facts a little confused, but the take is still the same as far as John Jones is concerned.
Gotcha.
This is way less relevant than it was when we first started talking about in 2020. And it might have felt like 4 years, that year and a half, because a lot of shit happened that he fought Cyril Gane, but it was only a year and a half ago that he fought Cyril Gane. So correction made. And as far as my final thoughts go, when they come for my Bible and my guns, Miss Ellie's going to bake them some fudge, and I'm going to offer some coffee.
All right, real quick before we get to Pops, Chris Benoit says Fernando Tatis Jr. just started off the game in San Diego with a home run. So there you go.
But the question remains, did he flip the bat?
Probably. Tigers versus Cleveland, 4 Eastern, Royals versus Yankees, 7:30. So I'll be able to catch a 7:30 game. And Carl checking in. What's up, Carl? Thanks for checking in, brother. Share a show out. I love you. Hopefully we'll do the bar next week. Okay, Pops, final thoughts, and we're out of here, man.
Right. If John got through this weekend, you know that there's people that are out there that will help you. The dude is as sore as he can't sit down or stand.
No, I don't even know how I made it this long.
Well, I guess maybe we could put him face down. He might be able to survive that. But other than that, that's about it. But, just give a call to a friend. He'll get you through it. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Right on, Chris. And like Dodgers and Padres have been doing it. The first game, Betts answers with a home run in the bottom of the first, I'm assuming. So there you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Poop. Thank you, Pops. Hopefully we'll have Pterodactyl next week to help us out with some NHL and some college football. We'll get into some fantasy. We'll get into some NHL because we'll have 2 hours. We'll have more than 2 hours.
You know what we didn't talk about?
What?
College football.
Yeah, because we don't have Pterodactyl.
Oh, but
Alabama got upset, man.
I know, but I promised a short show, so we're gonna do it.
Okay. I just said.
No, we didn't have much NFL talk either, man. So, but
no. Short show requires us to just get our segments in and get out. And I'm already 5 minutes later than I said I
was. You made me stumble through that whole. We could have wrapped up my segment early. I was like, okay, I'm done, guys. And then you got me stumbling through the freaking what's happening next. I in one ear and out the other, man. All right.
Okay, it's yours. Okay. 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 Hey.
That's you. That's you. Just
that's me.
Slightly shorter.
Oh,
all right.
That's me.
All right. Hopefully we get the Pterodactyl back next week so we can cover in depth of college football. Yes, Bama got undefeated by number 1 Alabama got defeated by unranked Vanderbilt. I think 645 times no, I forgot the stat. Never mind. There's muscle relaxers for you. All right. So
first time in 40 years. How's that?
Yeah, it's at least. Yeah, we're gonna close it up. We'll see you next week. Hopefully the bar will be on next Saturday night, and then we're probably gonna do as early as we can get the Pook Dog in. We're gonna do an early show Sunday so we can knock that out and move on with the rest of carry on with the plan of the day. So thanks for tuning in. Please share us out. Remember, we're live on Rumble. Get on over to Rumble. Get a Rumble account. It doesn't cost you anything. Then search Barracks Party Media. Look for the video Sports Church and the bar and give thumbs up and leave a comment. Same thing on YouTube, Barracks Party Media. We're live on Facebook on Sports Church, my personal page, as well as the bar. And there's one more comment in there. NHL regular starts this weekend. Yep. See, again, we need the Pterodactyl for that shit. But I think he's at a Trump rally right now. So there you go. All right. We be gone.
And now for something completely different.
I'm pretty tired. Think I'll go home now.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.